which is why I guess I thought this was such a fun little exercise for David. I know he likes to pop up there and say, I've got 3 Bitcoin and no one can prove anything to me, or no one can give me evidence, or no one can show me the globe, but it's so dead easy. It's just globe science all over the place.
Science doesn't prove things because that's not the business of science. Science is not about proof. Mathematics is about proof.
It is probably the single most important mathematical idea of all. The notion of proof by circle and line or ruler and compass construction means that geometry can be known about in a way that is different from knowing about physical things, and so makes geometry epistemically differentiated. Furthermore, starting from circles and lines alone and constructing a relationship using circles and lines alone makes the conclusions certain in a way that nothing else was at the time. In geometric reasoning, the argument and the conclusions were made supremely clear and evident to the senses. Indeed, the concept of proof, a mechanism that gave a warrant for claiming geometry to be perfectly and absolutely true, made geometry the very paradigm of what we mean true and certain knowledge to be. In effect, in our understanding of nature, true means true, like geometry is true.
Come go with me. Open your mind. Was all I ever knew. Finding the knowledge of the real world starts with the point of which has no parts. These are the axioms of life.
True.
And I take my chances with the old ways, finding the proofs in geometry. And I don't care what all the sophists say, I find the proofs in reality. 'Cause they were right.
We call this
We know that they were right.
true. We call this proof, like geometry is true.
Starting with circles and lines alone, constructing the nature of what's known.
We call this proof.
Conclusions are clear and the evidence seen. This 3D space works perfectly. And I take my chances with the old ways, finding the proofs in geometry. And I don't care what all the sophists say, I find the proofs in reality.
Like geometry is true. Perfect. Absolutely.
When all around you is sinking sand, you have a place on which to stand. Foundations were already built for you.
Absolutely true.
Open your mind, and I'll take my chances with the older ways, hearing the words of what the ancients said. They say my words sound like sorcery, but there's wisdom in all honesty.
True.
Come go with me. Open your mind. Come go with me. We'll find the truth.
True.
Morning, Wally. Or hang on, I guess. I think Wally Oz. It's probably evening. Or is he American?
Do you think Mike Jones or not Mike Jones is the real Mike Jones, or is the Mike Jones that's possibly a sock for Bob? The nice guy that you think he is. I think Bob, the YouTuber, is a lying piece of shit. that also doesn't want to go, come and do the proof for proof challenge. But we was just saying a bit earlier, Wally, Emma was saying that you won't engage in a conversation about proofs, even.
Hi, Bev. Have I got you on the thing, have I?
All right, La. Sounds good. Coming through.
Wally?
Can you hear me all right, mate?
Yeah. Can you hear me? You're coming through?
I can indeed.
Sweet.
I can indeed. Yeah, no, look, I don't really see a lot of value in looking at the proofs. I mean, fair enough. They're all good and valuable and stuff, but I'm just trying to look at the practicalities of everything. That's all I want to look at. I took some real life measurements, and that gives me a demonstrable reality.
Right. Okay, but I mean, like what you and of Dave got with the Bitcoin or whatever. I mean, that's we were more concerned in the proof, right? Because
yeah, sure.
That's what we were trying to understand is like what is a proof in order for you to be able to hand it off to somebody else. I mean,
I'm sure I'm using a more of a generic meaning to the word proof. It just basically means, look, here I did A, B, C, and it lines up in such a way that that's all it could mean. And I guess we call it a proof. It's probably not a classical proof as you would in mathematics, but I guess it's a little bit of a, like a, what do you call it when you, for a title to catch people's awareness, I can't think of the word for it at the moment.
Well, that's what we were trying to get to, the true essence of a proof, right? I'll take this. I think, for a proof for me, nobody else, just for me, it's a process, right? You'd have to take yourself through a process of saying what you're going to prove, right? And then actually proving it at the end with a step all the way through, right? Now, this process has to be presentable to somebody, right?
Look, I understand that for sure.
And also, it has to be able to be questioned and explained so that somebody else can take that on and repeat it and verify it for it to be a proof, right? That's what I think a proof is. Now, how you get there from beginning to the end is that's what the journey is, right? To teach what a proof is, right? Because you want to explain to me your proof, and I want to explain to you my proof.
Yeah, look, I just don't want to get caught up in the minutiae of just trying to do every little nitty gritty step. I just look at, hey, I've got a straight line here, and this line goes across it at this angle, and this one beside it goes across it at a slightly different angle. Therefore, these two lines cannot possibly be parallel. And then you follow on from there to work out they are converging or diverging downwards, and therefore you can work out at what distance they must be before where they actually intersect.
So
to me, that's a simple proof.
Yeah, you're saying you have a proof that horizontals aren't parallel.
That's absolutely correct.
Okay, well, see, that's one of the most basic ones that we have as one of our proofs, that horizontals are parallel. Right? So, like, for you to take us, right, because there's definitely now, we're at a point, there are two competing ideologies or whatever, right? I say I have a proof that all horizontals are parallel. Yeah. Not only definitionally, but geometrically and within reality, right? I can prove that to you.
Which is why I guess I thought this was such a fun little exercise for David. I know he likes to pop up there and say, I've got 3 Bitcoin and no one can prove anything to me, or no one can give me evidence, or no one can show me the globe. But it's so dead easy. It's just globe signs all over the place. That's why I thought, well, I'll just have a pop at him. And of course, he just flicked it straight on and called me all sorts of names, and then said I wasn't even game to take it to Nathan, but he never told me to take it to Nathan. He just wanted to go away because he knows he's beaten.
Do you think Nathan would be able to understand yours?
Nathan, he will chant left, right, and centre at it. I'm going to poke him a bit harder and make him do his gatekeeping duty, which he has been remiss at doing so far. I think he needs to actually.
Do you think yours is actually a proof?
I think it certainly demonstrates that you can measure the radius of the Earth quite easily. Whether I would call it a proof or just a very good measurement and demonstration, I don't know. I don't really mind whichever way you want to call it. I know the way you're using the word proof is perhaps a little more technically correct. But I mean, this comes down to what QE likes to do with the scientific method. He likes to bang on and become really, really precise with scientific method. But scientists do all sorts of things, mate. I've worked in laboratories for many years, and it's a lot more loose than that. And I know QE will say, well, therefore they're not being a scientist, they're being a pseudo-scientist. Well, in some cases, it's quite justified to just, twist something a little bit this way or a little bit that way, but you've got the result and you know it's repeatable and verifiable, and that's good enough for most people.
A couple of little things, I mean, may go along the line of what you consider as your proof, like you've got a massive error in that, right? But you've also just said a couple of things, like slightly definitional, but you say measure the radius. Well, you don't understand what measurement is.
Calculate.
I'm
calculating.
Okay, so that's
I'm calculating
one sort of thing. Yeah. And the other one, I've forgotten.
Yeah, okay. Perhaps I'm not technically sticking a measure on it, but I am calculating it, and I guess in that sense, you've come up with a value for the radius, and therefore I would loosely say, well, we've measured it. We've got a value for it.
Would you agree then, if we're saying for the proof process, right? Would you go along with because we've been talking with everybody, right, along the steps of what a proof is, right? That it's a process that you, the person that holds the proof, has to be able to express and explain to a group of your peers, the ones that want to, they want to either verify it or check it, or they want to be able to hold that proof, right? So you have to be able to explain it to them so that they are able to replicate and verify that proof. Now, however you get there, I mean, that's the art of, I don't know, giving proofs or whatever, right? It's
making a rock solid proof that they can't question. Oh, look, I can understand that.
That's it. Science. Yeah, you can't science geometry. This is purely out of the realms of science. When people like Fight the Flat Earth and all of that say there's no proof in science.
Science doesn't prove things because that's not the business of science. Science is not about proof. Mathematics is about proof. Okay, well, my first response to that is that actual scientists and space agencies really don't care about proving anything. They're just working on the assumption that they're right and they're going to do their science based on that. They don't want to do experiments to prove anything because they're more interested in advancing humanity. And but science doesn't prove things because that's not what it's about.
All right. So science is about disproving things.
Well, a scientific experiment is about disproving a hypothesis.
All right. So if I try to disprove the flying ball Earth, am I doing science?
If you are following certain steps along the scientific method, yeah. But, I mean, it's an irrelevant question.
They're technically right, but, I mean, it depends on your definition of proof and how that goes.
Yeah.
So the proof aspect is only within mathematics.
Proof only exists in mathematics.
Luckily enough, that's where geometry is. Geometry is the foundation of mathematics. It's what founds it, and that's based on logic. Logic has to be representable in reality. So that's where that's where we're coming from, right? Within the proof process. So would you accept that that's a valid way to say you have a proof, but you have to be able to demonstrate it?
I think if you really wanted to write it down as a proof, you would probably want to make it more use a standard language or a standard syntax on how you go about doing it, for sure. Yeah, if you want to make it look and sound like a mathematical proof. But I think this is so simple that it doesn't even really need that sort of treatment. It's pretty basic what I've done here, and pretty easy to replicate.
Well, like I say, it is geometrical, and you've made a massive mistake. And I wouldn't be presenting it to anybody, and I definitely wouldn't be pushing it.
Look, it's already out there on my channel. I've already told Nathan about it a few times, and I know he's pretty much run away and ignored it so far. But I guess that one day he'll be bored and be looking for content, and he'll probably pick it up and start slapping it around. But it'll be interesting to see what he picks up. I'm going to have to go in a second, but I really do want to know what you think is a massive error in this, because I do want to make it rock solid. So
okay, right. Well, have you ever heard of the fallacy of stolen concept?
No, I have not. I'm afraid.
Well, I don't like I say, this is more. It's better. When we use the Socratic method, it's much better if you find the answer for yourself. Then you'll gain from it. I don't feel that me saying anything to you, I don't feel like you've got that barrier that you think I'm something I'm not, and because you've got that barrier up, you won't believe what I say. So I don't want to tell you, because it's much better if you find it for yourself. So if you look up the fallacy of stolen concept, and remember that your little diagram that you sent to us, like it's all there. You'll find it. You'll see it. It's
the fallacy of stolen. The fallacy of stolen what?
Concept.
Mm-hmm. No, I'll go and have a look. Sweet. I must away. I will chat with you again at some point. Thanks,
well,
Bev.
Get everyone on the proof thing, right? We want to know what would be acceptable as a proof.
Science doesn't prove things because that's not the business of science. Science is not about proof. Mathematics is about proof.
For you guys.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Sweet.
Talk to you soon. Bye, man.
Sweet.
Well, I had some flat earther idiot dox me not long ago. And, he put out some information that I'm certainly not ashamed of or anything. But, you have to wonder. I'm a rather strategic guy. I wonder if he ever considered the idea that maybe there might be a sock account out there that maybe even did a super chat or became a member of one of his channels to earn his trust that was feeding him this stuff in the hopes that he would screw up and post it on his channel and get his channel taken down. God, that would be devious, wouldn't it? Just food for thought.
If you enjoyed the content, please support On the Level and future projects. Membership subscriptions available now, or come and get involved at Next Level Discord server. Thank you.
Yes, this is basic geometry. Your flat Earth geometry. Flat Earth geometry. This is basic geometry.
It is.
I called you a flat earther.
My name's Ramsey.
Insisting that your flat Earth geometry will work.
I'm familiar with the bubble, Morty. I also dabble in precision, and if you think you can even approach it with your sad naked caveman eyeball in a bubble of air, you're the reason this species is a failure, and it makes me angry.
Did he say a five-sided square question mark?
You're a universal horizontal waterer.
You're drunk.
I called you a flat earther.
You want to experience true level? Do you? Yes. You want to experience true level?
That auto level is establishing a horizontal. That's just the way it is.
Because I've done the test with an auto level, which gives you a horizontal.
Yeah, it's gonna look super flat.
All right, come on.
3 coplanar points.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
If you're into math, there's a certain shape where you could make a 5-sided square.
Are you suggesting that horizontal can't curve?
Everything's crooked. Reality is poison. I want to go back. I hate this.
What's his deal?
Morty. Go to school, Summer. I'll go on Morty's memory and do a little.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe. And he eventually just gave up and said, yeah, I agree, it's a globe.
Geodesic is a continuous string of infinitely small, straight lines.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
It's really flat and level now.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe.
Lance to the cosmic slaughter! Well, you seem to be in charge of what I get to remember. Why? Good question.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe.
I'll go on Morty's memory and do a little.
Burn right to the ground in pieces. From the ashes come.
Wow, it's so. Oh my God! Oh Christ! Yeah, true level, bitch.
If you're into math, there's a certain shape where you could make a 5-sided square.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe.
Yeah, true level, bitch. Wow, it's so. Oh my God! Oh Christ! Yeah, true level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
True level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
True level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
Person to think.
When you get to the end of this test and you have a result and you say level is horizontal and everyone says big whoop, that doesn't prove anything about the shape of the earth, will you then say yes it does?
No.
No, okay, I'm going to bed. Alright.
Okay, so you...
I'm going to bed.
That level is horizontal is good for you then, right?
I agree level's horizontal.
Sweet.
True level, bitch.
Perfect.
Wow.
Nice, mate. I came
Nice.
in just for that. You flipped it, man.
Yeah, true level, bitch.